Next question today is from Lady. Lady says, David, you seem really skeptical in general. Can you tell me which of the following you believe in? If none, can these all really be fake? Psychic abilities, ESP, Reiki, acupuncture, astrology, telekinesis, ghosts, the soul, lucky and unlucky numbers, any ability to communicate with the dead, numerology, and tarot card reading. Okay, so I don't want to come off like I just don't believe anything, but you've listed all stuff which is mostly bogus in some way, shape, or form. So let me go through a few of these, okay? Psychic abilities, I'm open to being possible. I've not seen any evidence that there is such a thing as psychic ability so far. ESP is sort of similar. ESP stands for extrasensory perception, which I think psychic abilities are sort of a kind of ESP, but I know ESP can encompass other things. I'm open to the idea that science will someday explain to us how and why so-called ESP or psychic abilities work. So far, what I've seen is people that are very skilled at what's called cold reading, or are running scams, right? Where they are being fed information about people in an earpiece. James Randi has exposed a lot of those, but I've not seen any evidence that that's real. Reiki, I believe to be pseudoscience and completely not backed by any actual science. The idea of Reiki sort of depends on the same concept of a soul, right? I mean, it's funny because a lot of Reiki practitioners and clients of Reiki practitioners are non-religious, but the concept of Reiki sort of depends on an invisible energy that has knowledge in and of itself, because the Reiki practitioner doesn't even have to know exactly what the ailment is of the client in order to be able to sort of move energy around to solve it. I mean, listen, if you want to demonstrate that that's real under controlled conditions, let's do it. But it's not something I believe is real as of right now.
So what do they do? They have the client lie down or something, and then they move their hands over them without
Yeah,
touching them, and that's supposed to move around the energy and help them?
apparently now there is contact Reiki, but it at least started as non-contact. Also, a lot of Reiki fans believe it's an ancient art. It was developed, I believe, in the 1920s by some guy. So there's really nothing super ancient about it. Now, acupuncture is an interesting one. Acupuncture can have some positive results even relative to a total placebo, and total placebo is relevant here, but it appears to be that it's the release of endorphins caused by the insertion of needles, right? So for example, something like headaches of unknown origin, which could likely be stress related or whatever, it appears as though the placebo effect of the needles combined with the endorphin release of stabbing someone with small needles could actually improve headaches. But the question to really test this, what you have to look at is, one, the efficacy of the real acupuncture implementation versus a fake one, meaning one where needles are inserted in random locations to see if you get the same result. If the results are very, very similar, that would suggest that it's sort of the endorphin element. And also, you've also got to account for regression to the mean or spontaneous remission. The fact that some of the conditions people go to acupuncturists for are conditions that would resolve on their own with no treatment whatsoever. There's not been evidence that I've seen that shows above and beyond regression to the mean and endorphin release that acupuncture is really a real thing.
Well, you're relaxing the muscles, aren't you? So I could see how that could help with pain levels, but I don't see how that would extend to like solving a headache or, you know, anything going on with like an inner organ. I just don't see how they make that jump.
Inner organ stuff, there's no evidence whatsoever that acupuncture can solve. I don't know that inserting needles relaxes muscles. I think that it's possibly the environment of lay down and we'll put music on in the background and it all. That might be actually, if there's any relaxation going on, what does it, which is why acupuncture is very, very placebo connected. Astrology, no, I don't believe that the location of the planets determines our future, nor do I believe that it determines our personality. So no, I don't believe in that. Telekinesis, I'm actually open to the ability at some point of humans to harness potential energy to move objects, but I've not so far seen that it's something that we can do. So for right now, I don't believe that it's a real thing. Ghosts, no, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe there is a thing known as the soul. I've not seen any evidence of that. Lucky and unlucky numbers. No, I think that there is something called odds, and I think that people tend to remember their successes and forget their failures. So there could be the perception of what's called a lucky or an unlucky number. But quite frankly, the idea that we've become so superstitious about that many buildings don't have a 13th floor,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I find weird. I find it weird. Ability to communicate with the dead. Nope. I've not seen any evidence that that's something we can do. Numerology. I don't really know that much about numerology. I know that Herman Cain, I think, had some kind of 666 numerology thing going on, or maybe I'm misremembering that. But no, I mean, generally speaking, the idea that there is sort of a meaning we can ascribe to numbers beyond just their numerical value, I don't believe in. And tarot card reading, I mean, just absolutely not. So I guess, I mean, the person's given me a list of stuff that I just have not seen evidence for. So I sound kind of like a curmudgeon yelling, get off my lawn. I don't believe in any of this stuff, but I'm open to having my mind changed about all of it. In other words, I
Yeah.
am not definitively saying all of this stuff is bogus. What I'm saying is I've not seen any evidence so far that it's real.
She listed like 12 things there, 12 different pseudosciences.
Yeah.
But I could think of even a few more, like exorcisms
Oh, of
or
course.
chiropractic medicine or reflexology. Like there are
Yep.
so many scams out there.
Yeah, well, good thing that their list wasn't even longer, because then it would have taken me even longer to discuss it. So there it is. I don't believe in any of those things. Hate to break it to you.